Good evening, everyone. It's the Board of Trustees regular meeting number 2020-24. It's December 8th, 2020, 7:31, I think, p.m. We are in the upstairs Village Hall auditorium. Could you please take the roll, Jane?
Yes. President Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Here.
Trustee Stalker would like to participate by phone. Trustee Olenichik?
Here.
Trustee Desmond would like to participate by phone. And Trustee Phelan would like to participate by phone. Trustee Vorder?
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Would everyone, well, let's start with a motion, please,
So
to
moved.
allow participation of Trustee Desmond, Trustee Stalker, and Trustee Phelan by phone. We have the motion by Trustee Olenichik, and seconded by Trustee Mallow. Any discussion? Let's call the vote on that, please.
Okay. Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Olenichik?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you. Welcome to the meeting, guys. I'm going to ask if you speak up, speak clearly, and state your name before you speak, because it's very hard to keep everything straight. But for now, let's stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. I'm informed by our clerk we have no public comments. We're going to go conflict of interest disclosure. Does anyone have a conflict to disclose with any item on tonight's agenda? Hearing none, I'm going to move on to item 5, approval of the meeting minutes for the regular meeting minutes 2020-23, dated November 24th, 2020.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Trustee Olenichik made that motion. Do I have a second? Trustee Vorder, thank you very much. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Olenichik?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. And are we calling the vote on the people? Not,
Sorry.
yeah, that's
Call the
okay.
whole thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, we'll start again. Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Olenichik?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you very much. New business by village trustees. Let's start in District 1. Trustee Desmond.
Thank you, Mayor. I have no new business other than wishing everybody a Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much, Trustee. District 2, Trustee Olenichik.
Just an update. We've been trying to get a meeting with Commonwealth Edison, basically since we've had the power outage from the impact of storm of August 10th. I know that Mayor, fellow trustee Stalker, and myself met with them. We asked for specific information. They said that they needed time to get the specific information. And then we got an email back saying that, please note, after consulting with various departments, including our legal and regulatory teams, some of the information requested on September 9th cannot be provided for security reasons, and/or ComEd does not maintain the data in a manner which it can easily be retrieved. So to try to meet with them and get specific information of the root cause of the outage, especially the time delay from when it actually happened to when they actually got residents up in taken care of. And then the claims process, which basically is you make a claim and they deny the claim, and residents are out money because of, in my opinion, and based off of what I've seen, aging infrastructure and lack of money to our grid. We as a village have decided that we would like to proceed with charges to the ICC. We will be having our legal counsel put together those charges so that we can bring it to the board for a full vote. But in polling the board, I know that we get full support of all the board members. At some point, ComEd needs to be held accountable for the power outages that we've had, especially when you take a look at their aging infrastructure, and there's a lot of information that has been compiled by staff and by myself in some of the areas where we consistently have issues in the aging infrastructure. It's time for us to hold them accountable for failure to do their jobs and make sure that they maintain the power system. So we'll be hearing more from that coming in January. And I do appreciate the board's support on that. And Mayor, I know that you've been a big advocate of trying to get to the root cause and the frustration that we all have when our residents are out money for wasted food and for damages that happen due to the outage. It's time for us to, as a board, to unite and again, hold them accountable and get the answers that the residents deserve. Other than that, I'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a happy, healthy New Year. That concludes my report.
Thank you. District 3.
Thank you, Mayor. I would also like to concur to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, happy and healthy New Year. I would like to mention the Santa on the Green event. MC Squared sponsored that event. It was amazing. We had amazing weather. I'm happy that the village was able to do that and supply the children of our town an opportunity to come out and see the lights and see the Santa and Mrs. Claus, and just the number of kids that were there and the mailings that they made to the North Pole. It was tremendous, and I'm just glad I was a part of that. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to add great job to all the volunteers and the team, and especially all the elves who traveled all the way from the North Pole to make that event really special. Thank you. Okay, District 4, Trustee Vorder.
Thank you, Mayor. And as this is our last meeting before the holidays, I wish to extend to you, Mayor, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And to our community, I wish to extend the same greetings. This is a time to enjoy the holidays, but certainly follow the proper medical protocol and stay safe. I'm sure sometime in the spring we'll be back to normal. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. That's all, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Trustee Stalker, District 5.
Yes, I'd just like to chime in with wishing everybody a happy and healthy Christmas, and certainly follow the pandemic requirements. Stick around for the new year. I hope you all stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. District 6, Trustee Phelan.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Hate to be the Grinch that ruined the Christmas meeting, but as we discussed at the last meeting, when we considered canceling the second meeting in December, I mentioned that there's a chance we might have to have another meeting. And after talking with the manager and the finance director, it looks like we are going to have another meeting to pass the budget. I believe the board was polled, and I think the 18th of Friday was acceptable. I just want to make sure there isn't any confusion when we're all wishing everybody a Merry Christmas, that we've forgotten that we're going to probably have to have that meeting to pass the budget. And the reason for that is, as everybody knows, the difficulty we faced this year because of the pandemic. The good news is we had a management team that attacked the problem early on. They were told to find, I believe Trustee Olenichek estimated $2 million in cuts were necessary. Last I checked, through the reduction in staff, not filling positions, promotions, deferral of pay, I think that number was close to 1.6, but still in all, we're probably chasing, depending on how you look at it, $1.5 million to $3 million in deficit when you consider our pension funding needs. With that in mind, we're looking at everything. I know that the management team and the finance team were looking tonight, right up to the beginning of the meeting, at every possible additional cut. I think we all have to know going into next year, even if the vaccination arrived next week and we started seeing, quick results, the length of time it's going to take to fully vaccinate the population, depending on availability and procedure, could be as long as 6 months. And depending on how the governor and others are approaching this, if they're going to continue to require shutdowns, we're probably going to look at significant budget problems next year. So I just wanted to, like others, wish everybody a Merry Christmas, but also remind everybody that the 18th of December, Friday, is a placeholder meeting. By then, hopefully, we'll have a budget we can all live with. We're having a finance committee before that. And I know that the finance team and the management assistant manager are working hard to do what we can, but it's going to be a difficult budget. So I just wanted to let everybody know that. I also wanted to thank Trustee Olenichek for his continued dogged determination with ComEd. he did certainly prove a point several years ago. He used to talk about the grid and the number of places, including my district, that suffered outages, even on minor storms. And through his dogged determination and outright ruthlessness on behalf of Oak Lawn residents, and I mean that in a good way, they did bring a lot of money in and fix infrastructure in certain areas. But Trustee Olenichik said one of my areas, or two of my areas, were two that did not get that infrastructure improvement. And now when we have these storms, those areas that got the money and got the improvements, they don't suffer the outages, but we still do. So he has proven the point without a shadow of a doubt, and I want to commend him for that and for him staying on that. And then finally, I also wanted to thank Trustee Mello and all of the special events, Arts and Events Committee. Great event. The weather was perfect. Whoever the Grinch is should get an Academy Award. The videos of that were fantastic. The kids were delighted. I had relatives and friends who were commenting to me. So again, I commend Trustee Mello, the mayor, everybody who supported continuing that in this difficult environment. I think we have to do everything we can to provide normalcy to people, especially to our younger generation who are suffering as badly, I would argue, as some of the people who are getting sick. And I just think events like that really help to bring some normalcy to a really chaotic situation. With that, that's the end of my report.
Thank you very much. We're going to move on to the village manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor and Board. I would like to thank all of the residents as well and wish them a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I want to thank personally all of the staff here at the village, from the department heads down to the frontline workers, for the spectacular job they did. If you look around the village, Public Works did a great job putting in all the lights and everything. Even with our reduced budget, we used some of the old things that we had, and the village looks great. But again, I can't thank the staff enough for rolling up their sleeves, working shorthanded, and as Public Works was doing, I know they were moving people from the different divisions to try to make sure that the job still got done. So thank you very much from me, and I know the board appreciates it as well as the mayor. With that is it, Mayor.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we're on to the consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are routine and have been brought forward at the direction of the Board of Trustees and will be enacted with one motion. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. Item 8A is a request the Board of Trustees approval and direction to the Fire and Police Commission to hire one patrol officer from the current eligibility list due to retirement. And B is ordinance 2024-69, an ordinance amending Title 9, Chapter 40, Section 11 of the Oak Lawn Municipal Code pertaining to the fee schedule for inflow and infiltration compliance inspections. We have a motion on 8.
Motion to approve?
We have a motion to approve by Trustee Olenichik.
Mayor, I hate to interrupt. We were going to pull B.
That has to be done under the discussion.
Okay.
So, I have a motion. I need a second.
I'll second, Mayor.
Thank you, Trustee Vorder. And one of the trustees, I believe, had requested that we hold off on 8B, like boy, and just have a discussion. So, yes, I know. Trustee Phelan is making that request. And is there any other discussion on item 8? So we are voting on item 8A. Please take the vote.
Trustee Mello?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker? Yes. Trustee Olenichik?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yeah.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. That leaves us to item 8B, ordinance 2024-69, an ordinance amending Title 9, Chapter 40, Section 11 of the Oak Lawn Municipal Code pertaining to the fee schedule for inflow and infiltration compliance inspections. May I have a motion on 8B like boy?
Motion to defer.
Okay, motion to defer by Trustee Phelan, is that correct?
Second?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a motion to postpone.
Is the motion to postpone?
Yeah. That's, you just want,
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the motion is to postpone by Trustee Phelan, seconded by Trustee Olenichik. Any discussion? Trustee Phelan?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. I just wanted to address this issue. A year ago this time, we talked at length about aggressive efforts to attack not only the flooding problem, but in particular the problem that many residents in Oak Lawn, especially in Trustee Stalker in my district, experience during flooding events with sanitary sewage backing up in their homes. And one of the items that Bill Meyer, who is now our Assistant Public Works Director, identified was what we've termed over the years improper, illegal hookups, where people have devices like washers and sink basins emptying into the sanitary sewer, which overloads the sanitary and backs it up in other people's homes. So one of the things that Bill Meyer recommended that we do was we have an ordinance whereby that has to be fixed. And with short of going into people's homes and forcing the issue, this idea is, prior to, I presume selling or a transaction on a home, there's going to be an inspection requested and required, and you're going to have to pass that inspection. So I'm all for this. I think, as we all are, my only concern was the abruptness of it. Now, Bill pointed out we passed it last year with the idea that, it would give people time, but, I don't know that we did a good job of educating the public. And, of course, the pandemic hitting and everything else. Bill mentioned there was a couple of things we did, maybe virtually. What I would like to do, because we have the newsletter that's going to hit every Oak Lawn resident home in the next week and a half, 2 weeks, to include this item in there, to give people proper notice, to let them know that's going to happen, and then effective, as far as I'm concerned, it could be January 31st, March 31st, something reasonably soon, but just not January 1st, which is as the way it's written. Because there could be somebody right now, selling their home, about to sell their home, unaware of this, and they're going to come to find that, oh, wait a minute, you have some hookup. So I just think there should be a lead time where we can get this out. And the good news is we have this newsletter going to go to every Oak Lawn postal address. So that's the reason I'm asking for it to be postponed, so we can get that out, and then maybe perhaps we can get it on the agenda first or second week in January.
Okay, we have a motion to postpone and a second. Is there any other discussion? Let's call the vote, please, on item 8, like boy.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0 to postpone.
Thank you, everyone. Item 9, ordinance adding Article 1 to Title 3, Chapter 7 of the Oak Lawn Municipal Code. This I am going to request that we table. I apologize. I happen to see, let me discuss what this is, and then I'd like a motion to postpone it once you guys hear my reasons. This is a ordinance that will prevent vendors from further gouging our small businesses in the community, vendors which are meal delivery services. They're charging very, very high fees, and when I heard about that, I was horrified. I thought, these businesses are trying to survive. We have people trying to patronize businesses in town, carry out, and through meal delivery, and at the same time, they're seeing their profits for that really, really diminished because of the excessive fees that these entities charge our businesses to bring the meals to residents and to people who would like those meals delivered. They are struggling significantly to remain viable. What this ordinance does is cap those fees to 10% of the price of the purchase amount. I think this is really, really good. Other communities that have done this, however, have seen almost retaliation where those fees then are put onto the customer. And I just read in the Trib that one company is charging, in retaliation, $1.50 per order. And I'd like this ordinance to incorporate a prohibition of any charges on the consumer if we can. Council did not have time to review that, but I don't want to have an ordinance that people will just have an immediate workaround too. And it will have either, we see our small businesses hurting or our residents hurting at the expense of these companies. So that's my reasoning. Does anyone have any discussion on that? I'd like a motion, please, to postpone item 9. Trustee Olenichek made that motion. I'm sorry, was that a second?
Actually, you asked for the session. I was going to say something. You want to wait for the motion?
I need a second, yeah.
Second.
Trustee Mallow is our second, thanks. And for discussion, Trustee Phelan, is that you?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't disagree on the fundamental approach. The concern that I have here is when government sort of interferes with the capitalist model that we have, which, if you're a capitalist, you believe in the markets correcting inefficiency. And the reason I say that is when you talk about limiting percentages or amounts, we're effectively entering into the relationship between businesses. And all I want to be cautious about is a business will know whether something's worth it or not, whether or not they should have their own delivery person or outsource it. And we can't discount the fact that, and it's not a good thing, that these businesses, by and large, are not employing many waiters or waitresses, and thereby arguably have more money to pay a delivery service. But the concern I have is when we talk about 10%, I mean, if you look at a receipt for a dine-in service, the tip levels they go from is 5, 10, 15, 20, up to 25. So I want to be a little careful here. I'm a little uncomfortable kind of determining, what's fair or not, and really think that, if we haven't polled the businesses, because I agree, if you talk about gouging people, I've not heard what the percentages are. If they're 50%, yeah, that's unreasonable, but 10%, I think might be a little bit the other way. So it's something I'd like the attorneys to look at as well, if there's any concerns from that perspective, but also maybe polling some of the businesses that are making use of this service. I know Tim Desmond used it when he had his place, but of course that was pre-pandemic. So I just wanted to weigh in with that. I know it's being postponed. I support the postponement, but I just wanted to weigh in with those concerns.
Okay, thanks, Trustee Phelan. And
Yeah, Mayor.
I think with those concerns, a good solution would be to have it sunset in, 180 days or something like that, where it's just during the pandemic. And Trustee Vorder would like to speak.
Yes, Mayor, I too have read those articles, gouging that's going on in the city. And as a result of that, I actually did some polling of our local businesses. I went to maybe 6, 7 of them, and none of them have experienced this particular thing. Many of them have their own delivery services, and the ones that do or use these services use DoorDash. And DoorDash does not charge the business. They charge the customer $3 delivery for the business. But DoorDash takes the order, places the order with the restaurant, and then picks it up from the restaurant. So while I support the postponing of this ordinance, I'd like to do a little bit more reach if, in fact, this is affecting our businesses. And if it is, then we can re-talk about it again. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, let's call the vote on the motion to postpone number 9.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Olenichek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0 to postpone.
Thank you. Village Clerk's report. Jane?
Approval of semi-monthly disbursements number 2020-23D dated December 8th, 2020, in the amount of $15,555,307.74.
Thank you. May I have a motion on 10A, please?
Motion to pay the bills.
Trustee Vorder made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Trustee Mallow, thank you. Any discussion? Let's call the vote, please.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Olenichek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Motion passes. That's it, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Village President's Report, all I want to say is warm holiday greetings, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. It's been a heck of a year. We have a lot to celebrate. Let's continue to be responsible with how we are celebrating. It's been a really tough year for our families, for everyone, and I just want to say, the end is kind of in sight. We're seeing some rays of light at the end of the tunnel. With the vaccination, the initial one expected to be approved tomorrow. If tomorrow's the 10th, yes. I'm sorry, on the 10th. So we might see as many as 85,000 doses coming out first to our regional hospitals for doctors and nurses. Within a week, another 300,000 doses are expected, and those will be distributed to nursing home residents via Walgreens and CVS pharmacies. They're going to go into the nursing homes and administer those. The vaccinations will continue. An estimated 300,000 more doses will be available, and we're going to start seeing first responders and more healthcare workers than outside of hospitals have access to the vaccination. And I just want to say, for every person who's vaccinated, that's one person less who can spread this to other people. This is critical if we want to get to the other side of this. Every single person I talk to is so beaten down by this pandemic. Let's get to the other side together. People ask me often, would I take the vaccine? And I absolutely would, but only after, our first responders and those frontline workers get it at the hospital. And but I would not hesitate, and I encourage people to, as it becomes available, to consider that would be a good thing for them and their family. It's great to have a vaccine, but it's a lot more work to have a vaccination. If you think of the 12 million people in Chicagoland, and you say, well, we need 80% of them in a best case scenario to be vaccinated to have herd immunity. And each person, figure 5 or 10 minutes per shot, and they're going to need 2 shots. Just do the math. It's going to take a long time to get all this done before it rolls out to our doctors' offices. I do anticipate some mass vaccination events occurring in Oak Lawn and throughout the state. I feel this will be good. It's going to be logistically very challenging. So it's exciting. It gives us the ray of hope at the end of a miserable year. And, I just want to jump in on what Randy was talking about. I want to thank all our board members, first of all, for an incredible year in our community. It's been very tough. I especially want to thank the staff and our management team. Some are in the room today. The challenges they've faced have been unprecedented, and it's just a source of great pride to work with this team. I can't tell residents often enough the incredible work I see going on their behalf, for their safety, for their comfort, and for the livability of this community. Everyone is very, very passionate, and it's a privilege. So I just want to thank everyone and thank the residents too. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'd like a motion to adjourn, please. Trustee Olenichik made that motion. Seconded by Trustee Vorder. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
Thank-
carries.
Thank you. We're adjourned at 8:00 p.m. on the dot. Thank you, everyone.